This is Holly Hutchison, and you're listening to Jim and Mike Talk Music.
When I met them, I was actually studying for a Spanish exam at Moravian College, and we were looking for John Bon Jovi, and we came across Skid Row, and we made friends with them. They were so nice. And the drummer, Rob Affuso, the original drummer, was studying NYU. And I remember thinking, wow, this guy's going to NYU and he's music business. So you know what? You could be in the music business and, have a career and a degree,
Right. Yeah.
because you never knew what artists did besides be artists.
Yeah.
So that kind of started it. And from there, that inspired me to go find my internship at the Airport Music Hall.
Okay.
So I went there and I started helping them promote upcoming shows and flyers and scout out, bring in there that maybe they weren't. Blink-182, I had been promoted from being an AnR assistant to AnR research person. Doug Morris, who was running Atlantic Records at the time, came upon an idea of finding artists that were doing things regionally with radio and retail, the way that he worked and promoted their signed artists. So it was called AnR Research, and he wanted somebody on the East Coast. So I had started out working under Kevin Williamson and Jason Flom in the AnR department, and as assistant in Los Angeles. And Jolene Cherry, who had been working on some big soundtracks for Atlantic, was given her own division. And she worked on soundtracks like Batman Forever, The Crow. She worked on the Led Zeppelin tribute album, Encomium. We had met through that. And so she said, you know what, I'd like to have that person working out of my office. And Doug promoted me to do that. So as I'm looking through different marketplaces, I come across, I call record stores up, and they usually don't want to talk to label people when someone's calling saying, tell me about your greatest local artist, they get to have a little bit of ownership too. It's not, hey, can you report this to SoundScan for Billboard or whatever. So Blink-182 was doing great. They were on the charts at a lot of the San Diego area stores as an indie. So they had an independent release out, but it wasn't anything big. So I said, what's going on with these kids? And I got a hold of their manager, and I went to see them up at I think it was Lake Arrowhead. They were doing some kind of snowboard festival. So me and a couple people from my office went with me. I was hanging out with her with a mutual friend. She was writing for MCA Publishing. My friend who was working at MCA Publishing introduced us. I was an assistant at the time. I hadn't become an AnR person yet. And she said, oh, I want you to be my AnR person, because we really hit it off that night and I liked her music and everything. I said, well, me being, the honest person that I am, well, I can't really sign you, but I can help you. And I got to tell you something. I must have been the only person in AnR that did that, because other AnR assistants would say, oh yeah, I can set a meeting and get you a deal. I was never that person. I was always super honest, so that I didn't oversell myself, who I am and what I could do. And I took it in and I played it. Well, she was writing with Glenn Ballard, and it wasn't produced yet, but it was their early writing records. But the songs from her Jagged Little Pill album were on there. And I remember my boss, and I'm not going to say his name because he already admitted that was a big mistake, said, I don't hear any hits on here.
Wow. That was a huge album.
Yeah, it was.